Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. Get a few things set up and we'll pretty much get rolling. Yeah, sounds all good to me. Voice sounds a little robotic. I think it's a noise suppression I have on because I have a very talkative parakeet in the background. Plus, my fan for my Cintiq is very loud. All right, that's probably fine. Change my live stream chat. And I finally have headphones again so I can listen to my own music. There we go. I don't have the colors set up and that kind of stuff. I just plugged it in and hoped that it worked. It did. But later I'll customize colors and stuff. All right, sweet. This is what I made last time. I am working on this like cursed forest spooky Kickstarter. I'm not really sure when it's going to release or what the project's going to be exactly, but they're all going to be forest themed roughly. I don't think I'm going to keep working on this one today. Just kind of set the vibe of what we're working on. Instead, I have a different concept. Something kind of like this. Ish. Tree-ish, you know? It's like a tree lady sentinel. I'm calling it a tree sentinel just because it sounds cool. But I'm mostly excited about doing this like headpiece. So I'll probably focus mostly on the face and the upper torso today. As you can tell, I avoided doing the roots on this one as well. So it's not my favorite thing to do right now. Hello Mahir and hello Natalie. Natalie is super cool. She runs and is Ella's Arcanum. Feel free to link that, Natalie. I don't know if you can put links in the chat unless I make you a mod, but let me know if you want to put that in here. But she has all kinds of really cool stuff. All right. Let's get rolling. I could probably just use this same face, actually. I was going to go into ZBuilder and make a new one, but I don't think I need to. So we're going to save this again. I'm going to call it Tree Sentinel. And we'll just work from this. I do like these little squiggly horns, so I will keep them, but just hide them for now. The hair is definitely going to be different, so I can delete that. We're just going to go through and delete everything that I don't think I'm going to need. Top is interesting, but again, I'm going to make a new one. And then for the arms, they are still going to be long and weird, just long and weird in a different way. And this is going to be more of a narrow shape. Maybe I can just mirror and weld that, and I might like what I see. Yeah, that's interesting. It's odd. Because I want this model to look a little more stationary than the other one. Again, more like a sentinel. So she's just observing. She's not going out of her way to fight things. She's not going to be as tall and creepy and terrifying as the other one either. So more normal proportions as far as tree people go anyway. Hello, Maniac. Hey, you don't stream so often, or maybe you do. I don't know. No, you're right. I haven't streamed for, oh man. Well, I streamed randomly at like 8 at night last week for the first time in almost 2 years. And that was fun. But I swear every time I catch a stream, every model gets better and better. Thank you. It means a lot. You know, I'm always trying my best to get a lot better, you know? When I was a kid, I remember hearing all the time, like, practice makes perfect or whatever. It really doesn't. A lot of artists that I admire even, I still admire them. They're not, you know, they're not getting any better. They're not improving. You really have to put a lot of effort into it. So when other people see it, I really appreciate it. All right. I do want this to look more like a dress as well. So I think instead of starting with the top, also maybe I'll just smooth those out. There, now YouTube shouldn't get mad depending. All right, let's make this kind of like fabric-y piece that I'm thinking of. It's hollow, so I shouldn't have to worry about it connecting on the bottom. Also, Natalie, since you are vibing, you're always learning new things anytime. Interrupt, because it's really not an interruption, to ask me how to do things or what's going on. I'm more than happy to do little demos and stuff. Adam says, so you're going for some sort of cross between a dryad and an ent based on your description. Yes. Better said than me. Thank you. It's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'll ask away. Good. Also, those shoes that you're making for me look amazing. So excited to start using them. And no rush on that either. As you can see, most of my models do not have feet, so. I started making like a little asset library for myself to reference later on. So like different shirts, hairstyles, that kind of thing. And man, your girl really avoids shoes. I was amazed. By the end of it, I had like dozens of shirts and hairstyles. I had like 3 shoes, and I was like, but, you know, I really don't hate making them that much. They're not a focal point of the model, generally speaking, and it just makes me less excited to put time into them then. So glad you like them so far. I'm working on a pair right now. Oh, sick. You know, I was going to talk to you about this in the future. I feel like there's got to be a way for us both to be able to live stream, and I can share that screen so people can see both of us working right now. I've done it before, but it was a long time ago, and it was like through Google Drive or something. But you know what? I don't think it was actually shared on YouTube either. It was like just a private live stream. Anyway, I think that'd be fun at some point. I also want this entire color scheme just to be darker. I don't know why, but like something that feels like a widow almost, and not like a black widow, but like a sad woman whose husband died. I just like the idea of watching over, but not in a violent way. Trying to think of how like flared out I want this to be too. I think I just want it to be like a nice drape. So I might actually use fabric simulation for this. I also want to turn, you know what? So I don't have to put on, go through display properties. Instead, I'll just add a little bit of imaginary thickness right away. Right here. Oh, and I'm gonna customize this in my UI right now. I'm gonna try to hold myself more accountable with this. I always like go through my settings and dive for the same button instead of just taking the 2 seconds to put it on my custom UI. If you want to know how to do this, you go to preferences, config, enable customize, everything gets a little shrunk. I don't know why. You find your button you want, and then for me, it's option and command. I think it's alt and control if you're on PC. And I grab this. Oh, I do have it there already. I'm just blind. But anyway, that's how you do it. You just drag it on there once you like it. You click enable customize again, then store config, and you're all set to go. How funny that I already had it on here. Self-roast for no reason. All right. Can add a little bit more thickness. Something kind of like that. I'm gonna work on this top piece as well. All right, so for this, I like the idea of long sleeves or something. I'll do them separate pieces though. Maybe Twitch? Yeah, we could do Twitch as well. I don't know why I've always liked live streaming more on YouTube. There's no good reason. I'm pretty sure I did live stream on Twitch a few times a long time ago. I don't know. I think I like YouTube so much because it can also post like, you know, full-length videos as well. It's like everything's in the same place. But in reality, I just like it because that's what I've used more. I hope you guys have been doing good. I've had a super chill start to my week. I've been a little busier. My horse got hurt dramatic. He was a jerk and he got kicked for being a jerk, and it just wouldn't heal. So I ended up going to the vet, actually get it all checked out, which I generally don't like to do because I don't own a horse trailer, so I always feel bad having to use other people's stuff. Eventually buy my own trailer, but like, woof. They're like, the one that I want to get, it's around like $10,000, so we're gonna wait on that. But no, it went fantastic. He hadn't been trailered in almost 2 years, and he was a very, very good boy. And he's not bothered by his owie at all, which is part of the problem. That's why it's not healing, because every day is just party every day, and I'm like, please stop moving so much so it will heal. But I'll spare you on the gross details, unless you guys are interested in that, and then I can explain like what it is, because horses are interesting. And the way that they heal is a little different. than people, so they have different problems. But anyway, that was on last Thursday, and it already looks so much better. I've been going out every other day to rebandage it and stuff. Also, fun fact, growing up, I was interested in doing a lot of different things. But one of them was being a nurse, and particularly being a vet. I know it's sad because animals die and stuff, and I'm not saying that that wouldn't bother me. I'm just saying that, I don't know, I really like medical practices. I just like going out there every other day and like cleaning the wound, rewrapping it. It's many layers. It's a certain way that you do it. I just find it really like therapeutic. I enjoy the work. But I would never be a vet, not with that much schooling. I hate school. Good at school, don't like school. All right, so I want kind of more of a scoop neck. And then I'm thinking of doing almost like a spider web like texture when it comes off of her shoulders. That's a texture that I'm not really good at actually sculpting, so I would like to practice that anyway. I want to hear. I'll tell you then. So he got kicked on his front left leg. You know how they like long skinny legs and they have like that knee joint? It's between his hoof and that knee joint right there. So what's interesting is on people as well, when you have a cut or something, if it starts to heal and it contracts, it forms granulation tissue, which is like, it's just your body, making new tissue to fit there. Well, horses, it doesn't always stop. So it's kind of like a tumor, but it's not. It's called proud flesh. And it's really gross, but so it kind of like puffs out. Again, it looks kind of like a tumor. It's all, you can Google proud flesh horse, just beware. There's a lot of really gross stuff up there. And it's proud, like I'm proud to be here, like an emotion, proud flesh. Really weird. Anyway, there's no blood supply to it though. So when I took him to the vet, literally they just take like a woman's like disposable razor like used for your legs and they just shaved it down. And I'm not kidding. We're talking like cups, like measuring cups of blood and tissue. That it was so freaking gross. Oh man. Like it was only puffed out like this much, like maybe 3 inches. Why am I doing this? The camera's that way. 3 inches by like, I don't know, half an inch. That was it. But like, oh my God, this thing bled so much. He didn't care though, because again, there's no nerves in it. In the future, I think I'd be more comfortable even doing it myself. But for the first time especially, I'm like, I'm not gonna fuck with this. Like, we're gonna take him to a vet. I'd feel terrible if I caused a bigger problem trying to do it myself. And I was concerned about it being expensive because like vet bills. It really wasn't. One of my friends, their dog has a really bad allergies. It's just kind of like a sicky dog. Very cute. It's a Greyhound Chihuahua mix. Like it's a mutt, but like that, it does happen to have 2 very prominent breeds. But anyway, that dog had an ear infection and needed an allergy shot. And it was the same price as it was to take my horse out and get this little like minor procedure. They were $200 each. And made me feel very grateful. Granted, that has to do with where I live. I live in California in the Valley, and there's a lot of people out here that have horses, so vets aren't as expensive. And they're more readily available. So I'm definitely grateful for that. I'll look at the chat in a second. Usually I'm more attentive to you guys. Since I'm telling my story, I'm sculpting really slow, which is relaxing, but I want to get a little bit more done. There we go. There we go. Kind of getting more of this look that I want to see. All right. Here says the former engineering major. If there was a major with a lot of attention to school, it was engineering. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm great at school. Again, had a full ride scholarship that I did lose in the last semester because I couldn't keep a 3.5 GPA. But anyway, and I love learning. I'm a very bad student. It was weird. I was like that kid that had great grades, but never saw me in class. Sat in the back. I was the first person in class, last person in class, first person to leave, generally speaking. I had multiple professors that like would text or they'd email me and be like, hey, do you need anything? Is everything okay? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I would much rather be given like hours and hours of homework and projects to do and like struggle on my own for a little bit and then come with questions. When I'm just told information, I wish I could just absorb information like that, but I really don't. I have to suffer first on my own. And then you tell me the solution once, I'll remember it forever. But just telling me a bunch of information off a PowerPoint, bleh, no. I'm not going to remember it. And I'm not going to be happy about it. God, I could sit here and just talk about college all day. I was not a very happy person during college. I largely acted the same as I do now. Like, personality is not that different. I'm just a lot more chill now. I always love people like, oh, you don't seem like a worrier and stuff. And I'm like, I'm glad it seems normal, but like... It kind of all ties back in together. This vet visit with my horse was a really big deal for me because I didn't just obsess on it every night. Usually if I have like any sort of plans, even good plans, it will just bother me nonstop. I just can't stop thinking about it. It's kind of like I'll think about worst case scenario, but it's more than that. It's just like I'm so concerned about not being prepared for something. I don't know why. This is looking much nicer. Though I want this to be all tattered. We'll deal with that later though. But anyway, I actually slept well the night before the vet visit, which, okay, I generally go to bed around 2 in the morning and get up around 10. That's kind of my schedule, 8 hours of sleep. The vet visit was at 8:30 and we're 45 minutes away. So I got up at 6:30, be at the barn by 7 to be there 30 minutes early. It was not a lot of sleep, but I actually ended up falling asleep that night around 10, which for me is like crazy early. But yeah, I was proud of myself. It all worked out. Had a better grip on what I'm thinking. I'm gonna make her ears like super big. Hey, non-sleepers here. Hello. Love your sculpting. You're always so chill. I'm glad you're here. How cool. How cool. And then Natalie's talking about the proud flesh thing. Weird. I've never heard of it before. Poor baby. Yeah, he didn't seem to care. And again, he was a jerk. They turned him out with another horse, see if they get along, and they didn't. So when I got him, I bought him in April of 2020. And yeah, when there's a pandemic, I'm like, this is a good time to buy a horse. And it was. I had a good time. Anyway, when I got him, he was like bottom of the pack. He was very... I wouldn't say as far as to say he was like non-dominant at all. I mean, he's still a horse. He still wants to be like the best horse or whatever. But he definitely wasn't very like firm with other horses. He could be pushed around pretty easily. And then I put a bunch of weight and a bunch of muscle on him, and now he's like a tank, and he's just like, I am the shit. So I'm glad he's feeling good, but I just wish he was nicer to other horses. So he's in a stall by himself. I mean, I say it's a stall. It's not like a normal box stall like how you see like in movies and stuff. It's like a outdoor pen with a cover. Why was it so hard for me to describe? Anyway, but he's plenty happy. Some horses don't do well in a stall. Luckily, he does. I want to say he was happier in the quarter-acre pasture, but he doesn't move a whole lot. You know, he mostly sleeps, so I don't think he's really missing out too much. I wish I could post pictures in the chat. I could show you guys pictures of him. He is gigantic. He's a retired racehorse. He is around 16.2 hands. A hand is 4 inches roughly. Just know, like, I'm 5'5", 5'6" on a good day, and I can't like see over his shoulder. He is much taller than me. Well, I was like, oh, did you get a big horse on purpose? I'm like, no, I don't really care. I just got what I liked, and he was very, very nice. This looks spooky. But again, I want her to look a little more friendly than the other one. Why do her eyes have like these little marks? There we go. Natalie, as you keep working and developing your style and stuff, I'd like to see you put more into faces. Because you're gotten so much better with armor and really anything. The shoes are a very good testament of how much you've improved. But I feel like the next step would be really cool to see how you stylize faces. I think you're doing it in a good order, though. I think I started doing faces first, and I wish I did it the other way around. Alright, the eyes being droopy look kind of... I mean, droopy is fine, I just don't want it that round. I almost want her to look kind of sad. There we go. Oh, and before I forget, I'm going to... There we go. It's a much different face. I'm going to turn on a couple different rendering settings so it's easier for you guys to see and it looks nicer. Natalie, you'd like this too. So under render, it's preview AO, which is AO for ambient occlusion, and then just turn it on. And then you can really mess with the settings, and I feel like this makes things look infinitely better. And then go with my lights. Have basic material on. I have my front light. And then I'll do a side. There we go. That looks a little bit better. Might be a little easier for you guys to see. I'm always complaining about how dark the program ZBrush is, and then I paint all my models black, so what are you gonna do? There we go. A little brighter. Nellie says, yeah, my faces look very similar. Also, I think I need to show my hands some love. Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's one I totally understand avoiding, and I definitely wouldn't treat them as like a model by model project. I would just spend a day making different hand poses and do that. I also find it easier to do feminine hands first, and then if you want to put them on a man, it's a lot easier to bulk them up rather than slim them down. Same goes for like bony or skeleton fingers. You don't actually want them to be properly thin because then it's going to be really hard to print. So I actually add material when making skeleton hands as opposed to taking it away, if that makes sense. All right, let's get a hairstyle on her. I'm gonna go with white hair, but I'm gonna ultimately want to look almost kind of silvery. I don't think this this white lipstick is working for her, but I want it to. Maybe I change her lip shape a little bit. More of like a sad pout. That's better. Yeah, also her eyelashes aren't quite sitting on her face. Here, I need to auto group this, mirror and weld. Grab her eyelashes. I'm also toying with the idea of treating live streaming almost like a full-time job. Toying with it. Not so much for the sake of making money, but as far as like a schedule goes, just doing it like every day for 5 hours or something. Because there's really no reason for me not to live stream almost all the work that I do. I have some secret projects that I do that I can't show obviously, but pretty much everything else there's no reason not to. Obviously I'm not saying I'm doing that yet. I'm just saying that I'm toying with the idea of it because I really do like doing this, and I find that when I live stream, giant eyebrows, I work slower, but I actually like that because I make more thoughtful, why is this getting larger instead of smaller? It's 0.05, which is smaller than 0.1. Oh, it's 0.01. So I need 0.005. I know numbers. I went to school. That's my favorite thing is to say that, like, oh, I have a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. It's like, oh, you must be great at math. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm terrible at math. I understand enough to use them as a tool to then write very bad code with. That was the extent of my math knowledge. Come on. These eyebrows actually kind of came out pretty nice without me having to do a whole lot with them. Eyebrows is something that I also don't understand why I haven't just made a couple and reused them. I mean, I really don't vary them that much, and the first few steps look the same no matter what anyway, and then I just tweak what I have. But that just feels like a future Mia problem. That doesn't feel like a me issue right now. I don't know why. So I'll just complain about it later. There we go. Eyebrows. Gonna make them the color, and let's get going with her hair. So her hair is really not going to be the focal point. I mean, kind of. I'm going to have it just like the image here, it kind of whooshes behind her, but it's really going to be this headpiece that I put on it. And I'm really not sure what I want that to even be. It looks like on this, it looks almost like a bird skull, but that sounds like a lot of work. So I might just make an abstract shape that looks root-ish. It's gonna look really dumb, but I swear what I'm imagining is actually quite elegant and will look very pretty. We'll see. All right. Oh, I missed you guys for a second. Adam says, my coworker likes to say, that's a later problem, right? Yeah, I like it. Also, if you guys get tired of the music that's looping for you, just let me know. I can just swap it to something else. I think I have a few that are downloaded. Or I can even just turn it off entirely. I don't really care. I am not listening to the music you guys are listening to. It's actually very similar what I'm listening to, but it's not the same. All right, like, I want this to be wispy and like pretty looking, and I just can't figure out how to do that right now. Okay, this is working. When in doubt, spiral brush. All right. Okay, zero mesh this. I was gonna get angry. Oh, it actually worked. Excellent. So in order for this hairstyle to work, I already know I'm gonna have to have a couple different sections. I'm not gonna be able to do this as one piece, which is fine. I really should be using this hairbrush that I really like, but I'm not going to. All right, that's looking a little more feminine. Now let's try this headpiece I keep talking about. And again, I really don't know what it's going to be. I just know I want something on her head. Some sort of disc thing. We're gonna do zero thickness. Oh, thank you, non-sleeper, for the tip. I appreciate it. Oh, you're not mentioned hairbrush time. Yeah, I'm just not going to. There's no reason for me not to. But I'm just not going to right now. Obviously tips are nice because money, but honestly, it's just a nice color. I assume it's the same color as your guys' side. It's like this nice teal. I like it. I always have dark mode turned on, so it matches my aesthetic. Non-sleeper, I don't know if you've been working on any projects recently. I saw you had the orc that you posted in there, feeling all October-y. I like it. All right. I need to be very intentional with the shape here, so I'm gonna make it as low poly as possible. Honestly, I mean, this is a little dense, but it has a really nice loop on the outside of even rectangles, so I'm not gonna mess with it. That will make my life easier in the end. Let's bring this up, and then let's start adding a curve to it. Oh, speaking of, also, Natalie, if I talk to you by accident and you're like doing something, like don't worry about it. You can always just like rerun the live stream even. I'm gonna keep talking to you as if you're right there all the time. I use bend arc all the time. It is not the superior way. It's all about bend curve. Let me show you. So if you click on solid gear and go to bend arc, you're like, oh, cool, and like shape. And like that can be nice, don't get me wrong. But if you go to bend curve, this is the way. I always thought it was dumb because I'm like, oh, it's just 2 points. This is stupid. No, I was being stupid. You grab this little cone here and you drag it up, and then you get as many dots as you want. And then you can bend it. Like, isn't that cool? If you use this in between, oh, you already know what it is. But if you use this in between with hairbrushes, it works really, really well. It takes your hairbrushes to the next level. If you get good with the move brush, which I imagine you probably are pretty comfortable with it, you can probably do that when you're in a pinch. But I find this just to be the coolest thing, and I end up getting shapes that I would not have gotten otherwise. But good for you for already using it. There's a lot of things that, you know, hindsight's 2020. There are just a lot of tools in ZBrush that I seem to not use as quickly as I wish I had. That being said, I looked at some old classroom lessons the other day, and like, it's not as true as I think. I actually did start taking advantage like ZRemesher like way faster than I thought I did, which is good. We're also gonna make this a multi-piece ordeal. I want it spikier though. All right. Now that I mentioned, if you move the green cone, you can change the axis too. You know, that makes a lot of sense. I have not needed to use a different axis yet, but that is good to know. Non-sleeper says, not as much times I'd like. Redoing my original classes and projects to get back into the loop. Very good. And making some notes on workaround for things to do in ZBrush that I do not have in Core. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, there's a couple things that are tricky. What was it that when I was first using Core, again, I wasn't using as many advanced features anyway, but the lack of a trim brush in Core drove me crazy, which is funny because I don't use it very often, but I don't know, I had a hard time finding a really good alternative for that. I think that ZBrush Core has Slice though, which honestly is better in a lot of circumstances, so you can always try that. All right, I want to try on dynamic, but I shouldn't, with how many edits I'm gonna do to this, I shouldn't use that yet. So let's just turn on double. All right, so the reason this isn't looking the way I want it to is because I realized I want this to look like tree branches. So we'll make this the center branch, and then I will make some other pieces. There we go. We got one spike. Don't turn off. If I think it's possible in any way to just duplicate and reuse something rather than do it again, I do. Almost to a fault. But I will not stop. Also, I tend to work everything on the right side, which means that every time I mirror and weld, I have to click mirror and then mirror and weld. You'd think I'd start putting things on the left side, but I won't. All right, I'm probably gonna want this to be asymmetrical later, but I also find something really powerful about symmetry. So I'm gonna go as far as I can with symmetry turned on, and then maybe I'll add some like asymmetrical leaves towards the end. These definitely don't look like branches to me. They look like, I don't know, just really pretty spikes. But that's fine. I like that too. As long as I taper on the ends and then I texture them a certain way, they're gonna read as whatever I want them to read as. Yeah, see right here, I already want to break the symmetry for that center thing. Branch. It'd also look a lot more branch-like if I added pieces coming off of these. I don't know if I want to do that though. We're just gonna stick some leaves on it. All right, let's merge these all to be the same subtool. You know, I complained for years about finally getting boulders. I barely use them. I'm just so used to like merging subtools together and then just relying on auto groups to split them however I want. And honestly, I kind of like it more. I don't know, something about the folders feels clunky, which is, I can't think of a better way to do it. You just make a folder and put stuff in it, but I don't know. I just don't like it. Natalie wants the same thing for mirroring. Right? It drives me crazy, and it just seems ridiculous there isn't another way to do it. Maybe there is? I don't know. Something took me too long to realize. If you go to Z plugin, and then, not Transpose Master. I guess something important here. I just can't remember where it is. Subtool Master. If you have something that has multiple subdivision levels, but you want to mirror it, it won't let you. You can. All you have to do is go Subtool Master and then click Mirror. And they can do whatever you want, which I thought was dumb. Might just work like that all the time. I'm not saying mirror. Oh, there it is. But yeah, just in case you're wondering. I rarely need to use that function. That's usually more like if I messed up. But figure I'd mention. Oh, I'm writing that down. Oh, good. Well, that's helpful. Now, Sleeper says, Natalie, I love your work, by the way. Awesome stuff. Happy to support you. Yeah, again, Ella's Arcanum. She's great. Okay, this is looking exactly how I intended, but now that I have it, I'm like, she looks awfully spooky. I don't know, I imagined her being a little more elegant, Let me repaint a few things. Oh, that is too white. Oh, and if you can help it, don't use pure blacks and pure whites when you're poly painting. Trust me, you will regret it. If you want me to elaborate, I can. But for the most part, I swear, it just skews everything. That goes with saturation as well. Like, when you're choosing the color wheel, do not choose here. Choose somewhere over here. I mean, I'm sure you can get this to look good being purely saturated if it's a few things, but if everything you're doing, it lives in this little spot right here, it's gonna look really, really harsh. What if I did like a white tree? I'm thinking of the green trees that are in Arizona. I have family in Phoenix, Arizona, and they have green trees everywhere. They're called Palo Verde, which is literally translate to green stick. And yeah, they're completely green. They're very pretty, but unfortunately, once they get to a certain age, I think like 10 or 15 years old or something, they end up looking like normal trees. They grow like normal bark. But if there are green trees, I feel like I could do something white, like a birch. That'd be nice. These tentacles are not doing it for me, guys. I really need to, this is a big part of this design. I know I need to develop these at some point. I just don't want to. I don't know why I'm even avoiding it. She looks like a spider. Also kind of a cool idea, but again, not the point. Well, that's gonna be a later problem. I still want dark eyes, so let me change the eyelashes to something dark. And then go in with poly paint, clicking on drag rectangle, and then just putting in a little dark spot. I don't want this whole color palette to be just black and white though. I mean, why not? That's kind of cool. But if I had at least one accent color, I think that'd be really nice. And I'm thinking doing a green would be nice, but I think she's gonna look too sickly. Maybe I'll do a blue. I want her to look like a protector still. Yeah, I'm gonna do a blue because by the time I do like the spiderweb texture on her sleeve, she's gonna look so scary and spooky, but she's there to help. If she's on your side anyway. Maybe look at pictures from Avatar: Lost Airbender or the Swamp Benders Vine Monsters. Oh, that's a super good idea. I also love that I just, no issue, effortlessly assume you're talking about Avatar. Kind of goes without saying, but obviously I'm a huge Avatar fan. I feel like who isn't a huge Avatar fan? My goodness. Also, for everyone who didn't like Legend of Korra, like, just admit you don't like different, okay? It was a great, great show. I loved it just as much, if not more in some ways, than the original. I totally get, we're like, oh, the original gang isn't here. I'm like, I know, but like, what else did you want? A lot of people complain, it's like, Korra isn't as likable. I'm like, that's the point. She has a whole, that's like the whole character problem, is how she wrestles with that. Also, she had literally no friends growing up. So, anyway, going to like a spicy takes on Legend of Avatar and Korra, but anyway. Yeah, my dog's name is Zuko. Yeah, see, you understand. That's fabulous. And he's a very cute dog. I also love, like, he's such a cute dog. I'm not saying that Zuko isn't also very cute, but like, you know, your dog's not exactly menacing looking. Zuko's supposed to be like tough, but he's not. I don't know, I feel like it's his, your dog runs like his spirit animal. It's very fitting to me. I'm so excited for the movies they announced as a gang as young adults. Oh, I know. And the casting looks pretty good too, so I'm really excited about that. I mean, as much as the next person, it annoys me when they cast people that look nothing like the characters or not even the same ethnicity. I'm honestly a little more flexible on it if they just do a good job. And the movie that never happened and does not exist, like, they just didn't even do a good job. I'm like, you didn't have anything working for you to start with, but then you did not help yourself after that as well. I'm very excited about it. All right, I'm digging the spooky blue. Also gonna make her eyes a pure white, which I mentioned before not doing, but I do what I want. I just need him to stand out a little bit more and they'll help me get that. All right, we're looking spookier. I like it. And I'm actually gonna look up what you were talking about, Natalie. He's a prince at heart who needed a redemption arc. He sure did. Absolutely. The power creep in that show is so slow and so satisfying. Albatross Airbender, Swamp People. I remember feeling so goofy when they're like, oh yeah, they're the waterbenders. I don't know, when I was watching that as a kid, I was like, it's like another element. I was just like so confused by it. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess water makes sense. Between the Swamp People, water monsters, and like bloodbending that Katara ends up doing, I feel like water ends up being so overpowered by the end of the show, and I love it. I mean, it makes sense, you know? It's not my favorite element, but I just feel like if I had to be one of the benders, it would be fire. It just suits the way that I do things. If I could pick, air, but I don't think that suits me at all. Yeah, I think this would be a better way to do it, Natalie. Like, not these distinct tentacles, like what I'm trying, tentacles, roots that I'm trying to do, but more like a central thing that then fans out at the bottom. I'll give it more of like a, almost like a mermaid dress styling. They're a little creepy too. Yeah, I agree. Okay, we're just gonna delete this, I think. Oh, you know what? One last thing I'm gonna try that might work, because I do want it to be like, what am I supposed to say? Like twisted roots. I'm like, twist, what does this mean? Yeah, this actually might work really well. I would not have thought of this otherwise, so thank you. Oh yeah, if it doesn't twist enough, I think I've said it before, you just do it again. All right, they got a little screwed up looking. I don't know what I'm clicking where it asks me if I want to close ZBrush, but it gives me a heart attack every time it does. I'm like, no, I do not want you to close. Why are you asking me that? Also, why are you behaving strangely now? I'm like afraid to click something. Do not crash. We're all happy. You're still acting weird. There we go. Okay, now I feel like this is looking a little too much like how I would try to do wind. But we're getting there. Oh, I just need to subdivide. That's it. Sometimes I work so low poly for so long that it backfires. I talked about doing it the other way though. Okay, now she does look like air for sure. I guess it will need a fan on the bottom. I don't know, I was thinking of it being more like pinched at the bottom though. Like this than this. Okay, that does work. I can just do that. In order to do that, what I will do is I will cut this top part off like this. I will move it up, make it a little longer, and then I will turn off perspective for a second, center this, and then use a soft deformer. Where is it? Deform or soft? I feel like this will do a better job. It's not doing a better job. In that case, I will not use a soft deformer because it's not turning out how I want at all. And instead, I will use radial symmetry. How about that? Pull these out. I'll probably end up resculpting this entire thing, honestly, but right now, I just want to get the shape. So I'm having a hard time with shape. These are so much thicker than I want them to be. Stop. I'm going to auto groups and then come in and just really quickly make these thinner. I'm also going to zero mesh them really quick because they're getting a little out of hand. I was at the ugliest zero mesh ever. Ugh. What if I just keep going? That make it happier? Whatever. We're gonna have to redo this later. Okay, no. It's all working out. False alarm. It's working out just fine. The second I start seeing it look more tree-like, I'm like, ah, yes, there we go. That's what I wanted. There we go. This is looking way more like roots and not like wind. And if I do this, I can kind of have it wrapping in and out of this fabric piece that I'm giving her. Aha! It is all coming together. Well, neat. That's gonna look awesome. If I don't have to, I do not want to rebuild this shape, but cleaner. All right. I feel like it's a good opportunity for some cool textures. Absolutely. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's looking pretty cool on Sleeper. I'm still fighting with the color scheme, and this yellowy brown that I picked is not it. So taking some time to make sure that these roots at the bottom actually overlap and look like tree roots is what's going to sell this. But if it takes way too long, I know I'm just going to rush it, so I'm going to see if I can just quickly give it a better shape, and it looks like I can. Very good. All right. We're getting there. God, I could never sculpt by hand. I just get so frustrated. Because that's something in my head, you know, that I'm trying to get out as quickly as possible. And a lot of these deformers that I'm using just make that so much faster. Like, I just can't imagine doing this by hand. I mean, I guess I can. You would just have to have a lot more, like, intent when you're doing stuff. I like to be a little less efficient, I guess, where I kind of make it up as I go. I really enjoy doing that. And to anyone that's lurking that feels too shy to ask a question, you can ask a question, just so you know. I'm mostly talking to the me's in the audience. Despite being very, like, outgoing on my own streams and stuff, if I'm watching someone else's live stream, I don't know them, like, very, very, very well. I never say anything in the chat. Oh my goodness, I just lurk. Even if I have questions I think will help other people, I'm like, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna subdivide this a few times. It's a little thinner than I would usually dare doing, but I'm feeling brave. I'm going to save this really quick. And then I'm gonna go in with a knife brush. Where is my knife brush? There it is. And I will never remember what way to do the knife brush remove material. It's counterclockwise, but the first time I'm always clockwise, every time. Your workflow is so amazing to watch. You're so fast. Yeah. Honestly, on live stream, I'm a lot slower than my usual workflow. I'm not even saying that to be like a flex. It's just a lot faster. And that's why I like live streaming, because it chills me out. I don't work so fast. I spent a lot of time trying to get as fast as possible, and now I just want to enjoy it. There we go. Having that more tattered immediately makes this look 1,000 times better. So I like this, and it's going to compete, but I don't care. I want all of the elements. I want this, like, piece of fabric to look very, like, light and flowy, and that means layers. Kind of think of not the original Beauty and the Beast Belle's dress, but the new one with Emma Watson. That dress is very flowy. That one. Natalie, wait, knife brush is directional? Yes. The non-sleeper says, I used to lurk only, but now I've learned if I want to learn, engage, I need to ask if I'm lost. Yes, ask away. I mean, if I didn't like to teach, I wouldn't do it. had a student once that was like really, really shy. I really struggled getting them to ask questions ever. And it was so funny. And once I pointed that out, I'm like, you know, if I didn't want to respond to you, I just wouldn't respond. So the fact that I'm responding, like, I want to help you. And it, like, not after that, it was so funny. I almost couldn't get them to stop messaging me. It was great. You're such an awesome teacher. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I do my best. I haven't been as active on the our like art Patreon because I mainly just hang out in the Discord because I don't really see it as like this big like money maker. Though it does make a nice little decent chunk every month. It's just a fun thing for me to do more than anything. I would like to expand it eventually, but I'm not gonna take time away from other things that are making more money and doing more things. I'm just happy that I have enough to keep me busy with the current students that I have. Okay, I want her fingernails to also look like tree roots, but then like I think of those women with those like 8 feet long nails that she never cut, and it is gross. I don't want to do that. I'm not saying she's gross. I'm just saying like okay, yeah, it did gross me out. Never mind. I'm not gonna backpedal on that. It was gross, so I'm not gonna do that in this one because it's gonna remind me of the same thing. I think her hat having a similar color scheme would help. I really wanted the blue, like the white and the blue skin to make sense. They don't. They don't make sense, guys. It needs to be red. And I kind of knew this might happen. Yeah, no, that is just, it's just not working, guys. She just looks a little too dead, you know? I liked it in context of just the white skin, but I am making her a tree person. Yeah, when people ask, like, oh, why do you spend so much time polypainting your models if it doesn't show up? And I'm like, because it's fun. But more than that, it really does help the design become a lot more cohesive. Yeah, that looks way better. I was really fighting that fight. That's something I see with my students a lot too, is you guys like will try to reinvent the wheel, and I totally get like the temptation to not feel like it's basic or too obvious, and I'm telling you, be obvious. Your design will read so much better. All right, that's looking much more interesting. I really don't want her to be too similar to the other model though. I mean, I guess that's how I designed them, so we're just gonna, that's just what it is. Also, you can't really see her ears right now, but I like them. So I'm going to mask them and just poke them out a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. I really like her ears, and I want them to show way more. Better. Non-sleeper says, fingers like tree branches, but little branches cut off. Maybe a few leaves on the wrist. Ooh, leaves on the wrist is a really good idea. It might interfere with the sleeves I have going on, but I can also make the sleeves more asymmetrical to show like a vine going up her arm with the leaves on it too. I never understood how you did the nice color gradients until just then. Oh yeah. Well, there you go. That's how I do them. And I use it on everything, all the time. I also don't think this black is working either. We're doing a full color rehaul. It's gonna look better. I was definitely fighting a fight for no reason. I can do the white skin, but the black was not making any sense. That looks 1,000 times nicer. Now it doesn't look as much like fabric though, but I can deal with that later. She's looking a little sun goddessy, but you know, I don't mind it. All right, before I keep messing with it, I need to add more design elements. I'm getting a little too far into the details because I'm having fun with it, which is good, but I don't want to get distracted too much. So her hair and her hat thing are not drawing enough attention for how cool the design is. So we are going to make this bigger. This is kind of a good tip for both non-sleeper and Natalie. I always just go to this little thing, and you can see right here it says 1.0 because that's the multiplier. It hasn't changed. If I increase it, now it's 1.18 because it's increased by 18%. I like to do changes in increments of 15% minimum. If you're doing 5%, I promise you, no one's gonna notice. It doesn't matter. Think bigger. It's gonna help your designs. So what I usually actually do is 25%. 15 is the minimum. So now that this is 25% bigger, I'm now going to try to design her hair and stuff around this. So similarly, I'm actually going to mask this because I don't want to change the scalp piece by 25%. That's just still be the same. Go right here and then again, increase by at least 25%. But see immediately how much more interesting that is. I mean, it's almost overpowering, and that's what I recommend when you're designing. Mihir told me this actually, and I'm sure he got it from like a Pixar studio or whatever, but it's really good advice too when you're designing something, push it until it breaks and then bring it back a little bit. Don't just keep nudging, like whispering a design. Just say the design. Does that make sense? But yeah. Hey Adam, I'm really on board with what this is becoming. Thank you. Yeah, I'm digging it. Yeah, this is pretty cool, guys. Oh, I forgot to do a speed sculpt. I was gonna start doing that where at the end I can like play the speed sculpt back for you guys. I also didn't plug in my laptop. I am very brave with this. This MacBook has been really good to me, and it's like the battery lasts forever. So I am live streaming and sculpting all kinds of things and hasn't died. I'm gonna plug it in. Whoop. And I'm back. Alrighty. Reorient myself. I might get a drink or something. We'll see. I also have live stream gives me an excuse to do my hair and makeup, of which I learned to do both this year pretty much. Something that you don't really think about, and if you don't have like a sister or a mom around to like tell you how to do these things, you end up like me. I was 25 and I was like, I don't even know how to do my eyeliner, guys. I never curled my hair, and I'm like, these are things I feel like I want to learn how to do, and I love it. I actually get my hair done every now and then, get colored. I box dyed it for years. I don't know how it didn't just fall out. My hair was very good to me. But anyway, wave reset. Let's keep going. Miguel is here though. Hello. Hey, you're awesome. I'm sharing this around. Of course you are, because you're the best. This is Miguel. It's MD4250, and he's wonderful. And we're doing spooky together. You guys probably already know that because I post it every day. But hey, thanks for joining. I feel bad I didn't join your live stream. I got back from errands early even. I could have joined for the last like few minutes. I know, I'm a terrible friend. We're working on like a tree sentinel thing, which I made from my other tree sentinel thing. That one more like a cursed dryad. They are looking different. I was a little worried that they both, since they have like this root bottom, they're gonna look like the same. But yeah. So I'm doing a lot more like custom creatures and stuff. And so I actually have a friend that I've been talking to about making some stat blocks for you guys. I know like every game is different, and like whether you're playing Pathfinder or not Gloomhaven, there's another one. There's many, or D&D or whatever. But I feel like even if you have a stat block that you're not going to use, just having a starting point like helps so much. And yeah, always say before the knife brush. My goodness, it is not to be trusted. And it's always when I'm like, oh, this is a super easy mesh. What could go wrong? That it just like completely craps out. So sleeves are really funny because you want to have this hollow look, but then you also want them to print easily. So what I usually end up doing is I will subdivide once. I will just close them entirely. And I actually find that works better because I know this is completely solid. I don't have to worry about having holes in like resin or anything like that. And then I just take a brush and just carve it out. I don't know why it's looking so low res. Probably because it was, when you use close holes, uses as few polys as possible to close the hole. So if I want, I could just Dynamesh it after the fact, but I don't want to. All right, so we have this. I think it's low res. Let's see if ZBrush thinks it's low res. And I'm gonna try to fray the edges with the knife brush, of which I haven't found a better way to do that. If y'all know a better way to fray edges, let me know. I used to use Dam Standard with a certain alpha, but I wasn't as happy with it. See, that was a brave cut right there. Usually that's crass central for sure. ZBrush has been pretty happy with me though. All friends right now. Got the repainted though. I don't know why it does white usually, or just like whatever color that doesn't complement anything else by default. I've tried changing what my off color is too, to see if I can like influence what it would be, but it just wants to be repainted, which is fine. I'm not going to mess with that too much more because I'm going to change the sleeves a lot depending on how I pose this. I plan to have like a little orb in one hand and then the other one kind of just like resting on her hip or something. And I'm also thinking, yeah, I thought I was going to have sleeves connect to her shoulders, but let's make them impractical. I think floating off of her shoulders somehow would be really nice. I have no idea what is keeping them on her, but I mean, my God, she's half tree. It doesn't need to make sense. I like it. I need to fix her body really quick. I have these really ugly lines right here because when I changed the shape of her arms, I didn't blur this mask right here. That's fine. I can just go with Trim Dynamic and clean it up. Bam, all done. I don't want to change this shape too much because I have Dynamic on, which doesn't always work super well. Gosh, this is looking really fancy. Cool. I like this more than I thought I was going to. And I was already looking forward to it. Again, this is why I like streaming, because it causes me to work a little slower. And I feel like I just end up making more interesting things. I haven't done this layered look with the skirt I talked about earlier. So let's see if I can start figuring that out. I'm going to take this, I'm going to cut it in half. And we're going to try to like just put this panel on things and see how it goes. Artist question. I love artist questions. Us having a serious conversation? What? All right. How often do you fall into the zone and become one month of art and completely losing track in time? Daily, honestly. I feel very, very lucky that I very rarely suffer from burnout. When I do, it is catastrophic. It is the end of the world. It's terrible. But for the most part, no, I just vibe. Just live it every day. I found what really helps with that is just having pretty much no schedule. If I wake up every day genuinely believing that I don't have to create anything, it makes me want to create. But I have to genuinely believe it. Like, I can't like reverse psychology that. I have to, again, genuinely have no expectations or pressure. This is going to feel off topic, but I swear it's on topic. I swear that eyeliner smells fear, and every time I'm like, I just want this to look good. I just want my eyeliner to work the first time, because I don't have a lot of practice doing it yet. It comes out terrible. I use 10 Q-tips. But today, I was like, well, I'm on live stream. My face is going to be this big on their camera. If I do a terrible job, I don't care. Go ahead. Look bad. Perfect first time. I swear. It smells fear. I know, this is just all in my own head, but same thing with art. If I feel like I have to do something or do well, oh man. I do not do well with pressure, apparently. I do well in like stressful situations, but not like sustained stress. That do not do well with that. Yep, having that panel right there just confirms that I for sure want little fabric panels everywhere. Just makes it more interesting. It's looking more like bark, which is not what I was thinking of, but now that I see it, it fits the design way better. It's really cool. Yeah, heckin' cool. Same. And now a non-serious question. Is tea soup? No, because you don't drink it with a spoon. I mean, you could, but you don't. Right? Adam, I don't think so, Miguel. But I would argue it is a broth. Yeah, I couldn't argue against that. Yeah. I'm gonna settle. I'm gonna submit my answer on broth. I like it. But if it's a broth, that implies you're gonna like cook with it or put things in it, which I mean, I guess you can, but like chicken broth and chicken stock, which I feel like are the same thing. No, they're not. One's with bones or whatever, one's not. Anyway, the fact that I felt the need to clarify that. You're not gonna cook with tea. Are there recipes with tea? Do tea cakes have tea in them? I don't think so. They're just fun to be made with tea. Anyway. These are serious questions, Miguel. I feel like I spent more time talking about that than I did the serious question. Oh, speaking of the gnome that you sent me, since its eyes light up and they're red and they're spooky, it's like the center of our Halloween decorations in our yard. I'll send you a picture later, but it's fantastic. It's very cute. We like it a lot. Our dog does not like it a lot. He's afraid of it every day he sees it. For those that don't know, I have a pug. He is very cute. All right, I have to put some of these panels on the back then too. Small concern is the fact that this is just kind of like overlapping meshes, and if you print it and then you like really shake it with IPA, it'll probably clean all of it, but I don't want people to do that. So I'll probably just put a cylinder in here at the end and we'll call it good. That way people don't have to worry about post-processing the death out of it. God, this is looking so cool. What? I made this. That's another reason why I love live streaming, other than just like chill vibes and stuff. I forget how I do things all the time, guys. All the time. And it's nice when I'm like, wait, how did I do that? I can literally watch a video of myself doing a certain design. Ah, beautiful. I still feel like I'm going to tweak our proportions a little bit, but I don't know how. But I'm thinking about it. All right. Hey, Magic Monkey is here too. Hello. He is also another creator that's fantastic. Just Google his name. He's got maps. He makes models now. He does really cool graphics, stat sheets. Just has a lot of really cool stuff. Again, I think you guys have to make you a mod individually to post your links. But if you can post links, you're all welcome to post links. All right. Creepy gnome, yes. And then that was an important question though. Pizza or sushi? If I only could have one like forever, I'd pick sushi. I really like raw fish. It's just like, it's very fresh. It's very nice. Which is funny because I hate like clams and tuna. Gross. Unless it's like sushi tuna. That's great. But the stuff in the can, rank. Awful. Can't stand it. Have to do sushi. Yes, the recipes with tea in them, especially black tea. Older recipes. Oh, that makes sense. That does make sense. I was like, a lot of sushi people here. That was expected of me though. Because like, I don't know. I live in California. If I live in like the valley, I don't know. I feel like people think about California, they think like the whole place is Hollywood. And I'm like, I literally live like a cow town. Like, at least once a week, I'm stuck behind a tractor. At least. Anyway. I'm gonna have to pose her sooner than later. You know what? Probably not, because a lot of her I do want to be fairly symmetrical. I'm only be changing her arms and her head. So if I want to go to town detailing her top, I could. My default is making it look like fabric, but maybe it'd be cooler if I didn't do that. Nah, I'm gonna do that. We're gonna do fabric sleeves, fabric top, and the rest of this will be roots for the bottom part, and even these will be bark, and then the top will also be bark. You guys can give me suggestions, but as you can tell, I usually work through myself. But I'm open to hearing suggestions. I just may or may not take them. All right, that looks really pretty and super cool. And when I make it asymmetrical later and add little leaves and stuff, like Non-Sleeper suggested, it's gonna look super cool. That wasn't the best way to add thickness, and like I'm aware of that, so we're gonna see. I don't want it to peek through and clip like that, but I want it to be as close as possible, so it's pretty much solid. All right, we're gonna apply that, and then I'm gonna go through the back. Where are you going, ZBrush? And we're going to smooth and see if that does what I want. I feel like you're not doing what I want. No, you're not. I don't have to. You know what? I wonder if I can just do close holes, if it'll just be smart. Holy crap, it was smart the first time. Whoa. Honestly shocked. Also, if I do that, I can add some creases to the front, and it'll retain a little bit more structure. So let's go ahead and do that. Turn on symmetry. That is a weird edge loop. How could I come down and then up on this side, but not on the other side? I have symmetry turned on. Whatever. The rest of them work the way they were supposed to. There we go. So now when I subdivide, it does keep a little bit of structure. Oh, this whole thing isn't symmetrical. It's slightly this way. That would explain why. We're going to delete subdivision levels, and we're going to mirror and weld. Now it's got like a little nib on top though. Stop it, ZBrush. There, I fixed it. little nib on the front too. Whatever. I think I like it right there, and it's smoothed out. There we go. We're all good. All right. Miguel said, if you played a sushi-based druid, what would its animal companion be? A sushi-based druid. I mean, I'm stuck on that. That opens a lot of possibilities. I mean, if I was a druid anyway, I would pick a wolf. Was obsessed with wolves as a young age. Like, I still had the crazy, like, horse girl phase, and then grew up to be a horse girl and get a horse. But slightly before that was obsession with wolves, which also never really went away. Mahira says, I can't enjoy sushi in the US anymore. I've lived in Japan. You can taste the difference in the freshness. Oh, I believe that. I absolutely believe that. My grandpa said a similar thing, too. Miguel, a hermit crab or a normal crab? But then, like, you eat your friends, potentially. Ah, crab is delicious. Definitely salmon. Oh, it would have to be sushi. Yeah, you guys are all picking, like, water things. I'm like, a wolf. All right, fine. My first thought is a seahorse. That's so impractical and so small and fragile. We're not doing that. I'd probably say a turtle. Because whenever I have companions, and I always have worry about them the whole time. Like, I played a ranger before with a wolf, and I never sent him out to do anything. I'm like, he is right next to me the whole time. So, I'd probably pick a turtle. Just imagine it now, a druid riding a salmon mat, swimming after waterfall castling. Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh, I guess that's a seahorse. But so small, so fragile. Very pretty, very majestic. Man, you're asking the hard-hitting questions, Miguel. All right. So right now, I'm just exaggerating the shapes of these little bark pieces, trying to make everything look as interesting as possible. But I don't want to deform it too much, because if I make it look too like lumpy or curvy, it's not going to look like bark. So still trying to keep those straight lines as much as possible. They're all moving left right now, but I think that's fine. I think it does need at least one more going right. So let me do this. Gonna trim that piece, and we're gonna stick it here-ish. Yeah, it's nice. I don't know if I want covering that entire root, but I think that'd make the most sense. This definitely needs a stat block. It's Ricky. Hey!
Hey, how you doing?
You're having a good time.
Good.
Yes. Look how cool this looks.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That's awesome.
It initially looked quite a bit like the concept. Excuse me. But then I started moving away from it because, like, she just looks so spooky right here. And it's tree. So I thought once I finally changed this to a brown color, then like the bark pieces came in and stuff.
Okay.
Started to look really cool.
Sweet. That looks awesome.
I know. We're having a good time.
Good. You actually got some people chatting?
Oh yeah. Miguel is here. He asked a very hard-hitting question about if you were a sushi, oh God, I can't say sushi now. Sushi druid, what would you pick as like your familiar? And of course, I'm like, I don't know, a wolf? I ignore the question entirely. I was all dumb. And they're all like salmon, seahorse, things that make sense.
Yeah.
So I revised my answer to a turtle because I don't like fighting with them. I get stressed and I just want them to be... Sounds resilient.
Emotional support turtle.
Emotional support turtle, yes. Here, let me see if I can get your... Here, that's the screen. Get your face in here so you're not just headless. This is Ricky!
Hey!
Alright. Anyway, that's Ricky. He is the other entire part of M3DM. He does a lot. Okay. And then Dawn Sleeper, some people like things. Yeah, there's 8 people here. Hello. And then Natalie going back to the first question of sushi or pizza, saying pizza. That makes a lot of sense. I studied marine biology in college, and marine parasites course just made raw fish too real for me. And that can stay real for you. Don't tell me about that. Oh, cool. Jen and Miguel are eating dinner right now, so just tuned in. Well, that's cool. And Non-Sleeper says we love Ricky too.
Oh, hey.
You've been attention.
Want some water or anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, I get a water.
Yeah.
Does it feel hot in here?
Yeah, let me just turn the AC on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's still 90 here every day. But like this Thursday it's supposed to start cooling off. But like I am like a lizard. I'm always cold. But you know, I'm done with the 90s. I'm done with hundreds every day. You know what I mean? So, okay. Let's go back to what I was doing. Got my squeaky chair. I'm gonna get a different chair at some point. I'm not getting different chairs, but like I sit really upright and I don't like lay back in my, I don't use my chair anyway. I could probably have a stool and not even care. So it hasn't been high priority. All right, since I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break, I'm going to put a render on this. That looks cool. We'll just leave it at that, won't we? Looks good to me. And then since we're here, I'm going to show you guys some other concepts that I have, which means make my face bigger. Wee, bigger face. Let's put me over here. Okay. All right. So the concept for this is supposed to look like this. No, I did not draw this. I am ass at drawing with a pencil, but I like kit bash things together. And technically, this little weird hand thing, I drew that because again, just like a kit bash thing. I don't have the original images to show you. Thank you. This is the other one that I did last live stream, the Cursed Dryad, which again is like kind of the same model, but like it's not. I'll show that to y'all at the end of this. And then this one's been really cool. This one I didn't really edit too much, so I want to make sure that when I actually do make it, I don't just like copy it. But it's so cool. I need to do my own version of it. It's like a Moth Queen. It's like a Myconid hat, but I added wings. Yeah, so the big smeary white parts. I drew that. Again, very art. And I have one more. And these are all gonna be part of this like forest Kickstarter I'm doing. This one's really hard to see because I merge a lot of different pieces here from different styles. But essentially, some sort of forest abomination. So like, yeah, I don't know how well it's translating. Kind of, if you guys have seen The Ritual, which I haven't even seen The Ritual, but I've had some people try to commission me to make the monster from it. Also, my dad had it playing during like Thanksgiving or something in the background. I can't remember. Anyway, it looks kind of like that. Kind of. But with wings and a different head. But the arm thing is similar. But yeah. Now let me put my face back. Woo. Look over here now. And then small. I don't know if you guys have a preference. I kind of like having me up towards the top instead. I don't know. I just something different. Alright. The abomination is so cool. Right? I'm really excited for it. It's also why I haven't started it yet, because I'm not like nervous to start it. I'm just like, I know I'm gonna want it to be super cool. So yeah. Yeah, some sort of griffin thing. Yeah, right? Also, I love seeing how people spell griffin. It's like a weird thing that I've become more interested in because I have seen so many different spellings in it. And the funny part is if you go to like my model library, I've made a baby griffin, a big one. I've made a couple different ones. The dog. I spell them different every time. All right, let me make sure he's in frame. Oh, you're scratching my face. You're scratching my face. Here, make this bigger so you guys can see him. But this is the pug. Why do you look so worried?
No, he looks worried.
He's just a baby. Look, I'm trying to touch him. Am I not holding? He thinks I'm gonna pick him up.
Yeah.
I don't want to because he's gonna just hold on this. But I like to hold you. I'm gonna hold your feet. His name is Maverick. You're making his eyes look goofier than they already normally look. Thank you for the Maverick cameo.
Oh, yeah.
And for the AC and water. Ricky's the
AC
best.
hasn't turned on yet. It's thinking about it. It'll.
Okay. I thought I felt a breeze. I guess not. Just in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. Small me again. Yeah, he is small baby. He is so good. I was legit so, like, I was self-conscious about getting a pug because I always, like, you know, like I got mouth, like, head problems. They're not exactly bred for anything. They were actually bred for their like Asian descent. They're for royalty. They were meant for foot warming, literally. That was like their whole job. Anyway, I was worried about getting one because I know a lot of them are inbred and there's a lot of problems with that. And then like every pug I met in the course of a year, I came across like 6. They were just awesome. They're just so much fun. They have such good personalities. I grew up with 2 shepherds, so we did like some research to make sure, and yeah, took him out to a vet when we first bought him to make sure. And now he's got good little snout. He's just fine. He snorts a lot, but apparently she was like, no, he's fine. He just does that. So I wasn't too worried about it. We both squealed like children. I love it. I love it. Yes, AC and water. I'm gonna mute myself so you guys don't hear me drinking water. Fun fact, I am really weird about like mouth sounds and like food eating especially, so I don't care if you guys aren't, but just for my own thought, I'm not gonna make you guys listen to me drink water. I'm laughing because I just read what a monkey said. It's true. You know, it's very true. We are all going to die. Yes. Gonna turn into a different kind of stream real quick. Alright, also, are you guys, like, tired of whatever you're listening to still? Let me pause what I'm listening to and poke into the stream for a second. I mean, it's pretty quiet, so that's good. That's good. I just feel like it's weird when it's like absolute silence, but also like everyone has different music tastes, you know? Yeah, no, it's so like not asking to be listened to. The one thing is though is my voice sounds slightly robotic. Yeah, there is music. It's super, super quiet. Because again, I don't want it to be like a too apparent. I swear, you'll notice if it's not there. That's the best way I can explain it. Yeah, but whatever noise suppressor I have in my voice is a little crunchy. I sound a little bit like a droid, which is cool, but again, not really what I'm going for. As I live stream more, I'll get more comfortable with the thing. I've even looked into getting a stream deck, because I just like the idea every time someone shows up, I can like press a button, and then the entire like screen like rains cats like confetti. These are the things that would make me excited to live stream even more, so we'll see. Again, these are not promises, these are just musings. Alright. I'm gonna save this. And then I'm going to open up the Cursed Dryad, because I mentioned it earlier. This is the other concept that is not... It should be about the same level of developed. She is spookier, though. She is not a friendly tree sentinel. She will kill you. So, here we go. The lighting isn't as cool, so let's make it as cool. I'm going to make it a little brighter. Make the ambient occlusion a little bit stronger. I feel like the ambient occlusion makes them look spookier naturally too, which is nice. And let's move this lighting to the upper left. There we go. Much nicer. A little bit easier to see too. Her eye color does not match the rest of her. But anyway, my favorite thing about this is this like tree root ribcage thing. It's so freaking cool. That kind of just came together naturally too. There's a couple parts of the design that I do think are a little like, not discreet. What is the word that sounds like discreet but isn't? It means separate parts. There's a word I'm thinking of, but it's not there. Anyway, they don't quite all fit together yet, but they will. So yes. Do I have anything else to show you guys? Because I think I'm done with sculpting. I think I got my hour in, and I was like, ooh, that was fun. And now I'm like, I did it. I did the art. Disparate. Yes. I feel like, God, is that how you spell it? Maybe. I always spell separate wrong too. I put like way too many E's in it. I just keep putting in E's. But that is it. Thank you. I don't think I have anything else to show you guys. I worked on more Greek stuff. So I finished the last few pieces for that. I made a vase. I did this last night. Oh look, a vase. Yep, I think we've hit it. I think this is where I'm at. I'm going to bring up the original one, leave it up for a little bit, and then you guys let me know just in this last few moments if you have any questions. They can be about whatever, but I'm assuming art-related questions. Where is it? Where'd I put it? There it is. Not seeing gives me a heart attack. I don't know why, just being quick save, so it's fine. And you're welcome, Non-Sleeper. This was a lot of fun. I love hanging out with you guys. Yeah, we'll do a little spinny thing. This is how I send stuff to clients, and then I end up doing it for myself because I found out when I do things in multiple views like this, it makes it easier for me to refine the design later on too. There we go. She looks cool as heck. Oh, hello! I recognize your picture, Emil. You're still live. So I missed the stream while it's at work. I'm ending very soon. I'm sorry. But I am going to hang out for a little bit right now. I'm glad that you use the same profile picture. It makes it easier to know who you are. I always feel bad when people pop in like, oh, hey, Mia, and I'm like, hello, and I feel bad. Even if they have the same username, I'm much better with the little pictures. I'm assuming Monkey... Oh, so are you this also meditating monkey, but under a different account? I assume not, or you just happen to be a different monkey. Are you Spud? See, I don't know. I don't recognize your picture. Doesn't matter. Thank you guys for hanging out, though. It's super fun. And then Natalie says, yeah, maybe I should make an Ella's Arcanum YouTube account. You should. It'd be super fun. Also, I was surprised how much this YouTube channel has grown even without much attention. It does a decent job. Most of the views are from the same video about me post-processing resin, and 90% of the comments people tell me to wear a mask, which honestly just drives me insane. Like, I understand it comes from a good place, but like, my 30 seconds of sanding a resin print, I'm fine, guys, I'm fine. And if I'm not, oh well, it's okay. I was on my phone earlier, I switched to my PC. Okay, yeah, you are the same. That's what I figured. I'm like, Monkey is a pretty, like, unique handle, so. For some reason, different account, and like, I guess I have an old pic or logo. I'm too lazy about switching it. Yeah, I totally get it. That's probably why the reason I haven't updated any of my logos and stuff. I had a very old logo that's like a triangle, and now I'm like a D20. For the most part, I recognize the white and black with very, very subtle pink swirls. At some point, I might update my logo. I don't know. I like it. I'm not worried about it. I go by half Mia K, half M3DM, which confuses a lot of people, and I'm sorry, because initially it was M3DM for Mia's 3D models. Though a lot of people read it as M3 and then DM, as in Dungeon Master, which is cool, but I have never DM'd a game before, so it just makes me sound like a poser, doesn't it? I do want to DM a game, but again, it's like everyone else where it's just like, oh, I don't know how to, and everyone's like, you know how to by doing it. And I'm like, you're right, but I really like doing things that I'm good at. So I'm nervous to start, but I'm thinking about it. I'm always thinking about it. Miguel, I keep forgetting to use my logo. I don't mind it. I like seeing R2D2. I mean, R2D2 is more of your profile picture than you are, Miguel. Not a bad way to be. But yeah, I plan to do this more often. I don't think I will ever have a time schedule because that will make me not want to do it. But if I wake up every day thinking I don't have to live stream and I don't have to do anything or create art, I always end up doing a lot. So you can roughly assume that I will be live streaming between the hours of 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. every day-ish, maybe. All PST, by the way. But yeah, I think we're gonna call it good. Starting to like, I want to cross my legs how I normally sit, but I have this little attachment on my desk where it's like where you put a keyboard. Again, I say attachment because it wasn't there originally, and because I put it on here, I have more space to put stuff like snacks, but I can't cross my legs. It bothers me. Hey, switch your picture up. Well, there you go. Miguel, I just scheduled streams for a month. Never again. Right? I feel like I would just get like, I just get cranky, man. It don't even be my thing. I'm also going to update it next time, install my software, so I will have the color of my choosing. As of now, we're just perpetually green. So yes. That which apparently is a good color though, for me. I have this little like backlight thing they have over there because it looks better than not. See, without it, I don't know. I feel like with it, it's like very subtle. That makes the skin look better. Yeah, it's like lime green. Every time I do red, I look way too red. I already kind of naturally red skin all the time, so I think it cancels. Actually, I know it does cancel it out. That is color theory. Art. Alright, guys. At this point, I'm just rambling. I like the green too. Oh, let's see. I'm still distracted. Monkey says, I started doing Math Mondays a few months ago, but kept doing them on like Tuesday or Wednesday or just not. Dude, I've done stuff like that so many times, and if it mattered at all, my business would have fallen apart as soon as it started. I am the worst with that. I introduce new things and get rid of them almost as soon as they come all the time. That being said, I do stick with things that do well. But if it doesn't seem to matter, I just let it go, and no one talks about it, and it doesn't matter, so definitely don't stress yourself out about it. Okay. I'm gonna pause my music here. thank you guys for hanging out. Again, these streams will just get fancier as they go on. I'm listening to myself right now with the audio. It sounds fine. I feel like I could get slightly better audio. And the music is super quiet. Anyway, you guys have been fantastic. Have a great day, and I may or may not live stream tomorrow. Bye.